Hi, this is Marshall B, and this is Mabel. We're just out here, out in God's country somewhere, just enjoying the nice weather, even though there's smoke in the air and whatnot. Still a nice night to be out. But the wind, the mosquitoes are going whichever way the wind goes, so I don't have to worry about getting bitten too often. Oh yeah. Yeah, I haven't made a video in a long time. Last one I did was about suicide. It's thoughts I've dealt with previously, and living life. Because life on Earth isn't easy peasy. It's just it can be terrifying, but you just gotta have a good outlook on life and just work your way towards the future. And life keeps us in our attention in what's right in front of me, and it doesn't give us any proper time to think. So it's like people get frustrated and they get angry and they go to substances to help deal with their anxiety, in their coping mechanism with life. And life isn't hard enough. You got drama or health, you know, addiction, all these different things that get in our lives, make us mess up, and it's just a lot of people don't look at the whole picture. They only just see different parts in whatever their life situation is. And it's sad because there's some people that struggle in life. There's some people that are just dependent on the system for money. They don't seek ways to improve themselves. They just stay in that one state of, oh, I'll have the state take care of me, and that creates addiction to free money to where they don't have any responsibilities. And if they educated themselves in the creation of their own income, they would find a suitable job that would help enable them get the money that they need to live a responsible and way of life. But no, they just seek to just live off the system like leeches. And and but you know but then there's people that they seek to just get a good 9 to 5 or a good career, and they just like the income that they get per year or per month. There's incomes where you can make 30, 40, 50, 60 and above per year, and depending on what stature that you raise to, you get comfortable to that. But most people, they'll get sick making 30, 40 or 20. They just want to seek more money so they can get a better house, car, or save, or whatever it is. And and there's nothing wrong living a mediocre life. But then again, there's people that want to be free from the system. We want to express ourselves and be our own men, want to be millionaires. Some want to be billionaires, but who, in my right mind, who would want to be a billionaire? I sure as heck don't. So it's just, they're people as a whole, if they educated themselves on life, viewing it as a whole and not just into segments, because each segment, it's to keep your attention on this issue and that issue, and it's supposed to take your attention away from just being able to think for yourself, and once you start being able to set time aside throughout the day, you can focus on what you need, because there's this silent voice. We've all had it. Like, it led us to where we needed to be at each proper step, each proper moment. Once you program your mind into improving itself, you're able to advance your life, because life is a test to see if we can tap into that hidden power that we all have. All religions, Christians, Muslims, and we all have the ability to become aware slowly but surely in what is right. Like, if you want to be a millionaire, you got to create a new identity. Sometimes your life, when you're going through a change in consciousness, it's going to upset the old order, and you're able to create in that which you desire, being it rich, poor, healthy, not healthy. You can call forth that what you need in life, and people struggle with that. It's just, we all have this innate ability in us. If we're able to tune in into the universe, we can tell it what we need, and it'll bring it in our life, and it makes it work out the way it benefits your desires. Like, I'm just coming out of a rough patch myself, but at the time I was like going freaking out, because I had a nice car taken from me. Well, not taken, it was repoed, and I didn't have a car for the longest while, but with the but it wasn't the end. Like, I was able to drive my dad's vehicle to work, and during the initial phase that was nerve-wracking, but I was able to do some things in my personal life, to move forward. Like, I was able to get a new car eventually, so that was nice. I did some crazy things in my time of despair, and so, at the time I didn't realize it, but it's true. It was part of the plan to help me step into my power and become the person who I'm meant to be. Because we got to drop our old self and step into the new self, the new person that we're becoming. you know. So everything that has a negative connotation will turn into a positive. So just like the phoenix rising from the ashes, you know, we all have the phoenix within us to reawaken our creative expression, physically, emotionally, materially, spiritual, all wrapped up into one. So this is Marshall B, just sharing, just, you know, learning the laws of life and how to handle it. So hopefully it helped you in some way, gives you encouragement. So until next time, stay classy, my friend.